Hello everybody, welcome back to the Wired Gaming HD channel. I just want to get on here and make a video. I just started playing Modern Warfare 3. I'm a little late to the game, but I just wanted to get on here and give my first impressions and answer some of the questions that I've seen a lot of people asking online. I myself had the same questions. I played for a couple hours tonight, so this isn't not a full-blown review by any means, but I just wanted to throw my 2 cents out there and see if we can get some feedback. A lot of people were excited for this game in particular because it was coming back to the movement from Modern Warfare 2019, and I think that that was a huge selling point, and I myself am all about that as well. As you can see in this gameplay, you could just tell almost instantly that it is, 1,000 times smoother than Modern Warfare 2, the Call of Duty last year. I don't know what they did with that game, but they made it extremely clunky, super funky. But the main question is this just a half-assed $70 DLC? And to be honest, I kind of think it is. Even though I just dropped my own money on it, I still kind of feel like there could have been more, but at the same time, it's kind of what we wanted. So it's kind of like a hard bargain. I'm not really sure. The gameplay really overall is just a lot more fast paced than last year's Call of Duty, even though I do believe seeing that the time to kill is higher, and I could believe it a little bit, but just with the more advanced movement or the better smoothness of the movement, I should say, just makes the game in itself feel a lot quicker, regardless of the time to kill. As you can see here, this is literally my very first game on, and I'm doing pretty good, and I haven't really played Call of Duty in quite some time. Even the last one. I mean, I've dabbled on Warzone every now and then, but it's been at least a few months since I've actually like played it regularly. So just the fact that I was able to get back on here and do this well. I mean, it's not like any pro levels by any means, but I was pretty excited that I was just able to sort of ease right back into it as if I never left. Whereas, in my opinion, the last Call of Duty had I won't say a learning curve, but it was certainly different than most of the other ones, which at the time is what they were going for. But the community was crapping on that, and myself included. Now, I'm sure as you noticed, most of the OG COD YouTubers are kind of slowly phasing out just because of the issues that this game has had, the previous game, anyways. So it's going to be interesting to see if this one actually brings back the player base or if it just creates a whole new one per se. Yeah, here in this game, I'm just using the default SMG class because I obviously wasn't able to customize my class or anything. That is my one semi complaint so far. I haven't played it long enough to know if it's like an actual complaint or not. But it seems like there's going to be some attachment grinding yet again, as there was with Modern Warfare 2 last year. I don't know why they feel the need to make things so complicated and not just do it the old school way where you just use a gun and level it up. It's looking like you can do that, but you also have to do like daily challenges and stuff to get specific guns, which, in my opinion, that kind of, I mean, they're doing it to keep the player retention, but at the same time, for people like the majority of the community, if I had to guess, that has, families, jobs, bills to worry about. They're not going to be able to get on every day and do the stupid daily challenges to get. And from what I've seen so far, is the only way to get the things like guns and special things that you don't aren't able to get on for the daily rewards. You're gonna have to wait till the end of the season pass or something like that. I'll narrow all this down and get more details in my full blown review. But as of right now, that does seem a little bit goofy. One good and bad thing about it, though, is it brings all the guns from the last Call of Duty into this one. So, technically speaking, if you grinded the last one a good amount, you could hop into this one and just use your old guns. But to me, that'll most definitely make it feel like a $70 DLC if you're using a gun that's already maxed out and you're just starting. I mean, I was contemplating doing that earlier just to kind of get the swing of the new mechanics and whatnot. I couldn't bring myself to do it because it felt kind of silly. But I suppose that is an option. I'm curious to see if that's going to pose any problems further on down the road with weapon balance because we've all known Call of Duty's hasn't been the best at that, and now that there's so many guns from last year and the new guns this year, which let's be honest, they're not even new guns. They never really are. It's just the same guns from other Call of Duties with different names, but it's still been fun to play so far. And I'm not far enough to get any other crazy guns unlocked. It has been enjoyable for the little bit of time that I have played. You also get all of the original maps from the other Modern Warfares and other Call of Duties, which I think is really nice. Compared to other Call of Duties on launch, this game has a pretty good amount of maps. Even if they are recycled, it is impressive and refreshing compared to the last few years of Call of Duty, where you get the game on day one and it felt like there was like 4 maps and they were just kind of mid. There were the maps that you had already grown to hate like within the first hour of playing. Which, don't get me wrong, that's still here. If you didn't like them on the game that they came from, you're probably not going to like them in here. But all in all, I think I've enjoyed all the maps that are on here so far. I also played a few hours of the new zombies, and I think that's going to be a pretty big selling point of this $70 title because it actually is really good. And I'm interested to see if it gets redundant because it is kind of in that almost identical to the DMZ format. You go into the open world, and instead of killing real players, you're just killing zombies, and there is real players on the map as well, but you cannot shoot each other, which is kind of a relief from playing the last year's DMZ, which is still a part of this game, of course. But really, just to close out my first impressions, I think the main selling point is going to be zombies and the new old movement system, which is, in my personal opinion, my favorite in terms of boots on the ground Call of Duty anyway. With all that being said, make sure to stay tuned. I am going to make a full blown review here after I get some more time under my belt. I did get the game a little late, so I'm a little late to the party, but I'm still going to try my best. I just don't want to do a review before I put more time into the game because I want to make sure I get everything dialed in and make sure that some of the talking points I mentioned earlier are actual concerns and not just things that I've seen online and whatnot. I need to figure out what's actually going on. And just to end it out with one more con, the in my opinion, the menu system is still a hot steaming pile of garbage. It's the same as last year, and my god, that UI is so convoluted. I don't understand. Maybe I'm just dumb, but I have heard other people say the same thing, so it might. I don't think it's just me. Anyway, with all that rant out of the way, make sure to stay tuned. Thanks for watching.